We got a special guest, y'all. Get your pen and paper out tonight. She has a very good story. We got a school on her. Some of y'all been following her on Instagram. You just saw the ribbon cutting. You seen her nice school. A lot of y'all know her as the Lash Lady. She does a lot of that. She's had shops and stuff, but I'm not going to talk a lot because this is your time. I want you to introduce yourself first, and then we're going to start from childhood and we're going to work our way up.
Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Jaxi. I'm the owner of Level Up Beauty Academy. We're located in York, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay, now, Jaxi, you've been on here a long time as a spectator, always snooping in and looking where everybody else is, but now we're interviewing you right now. So first, tell us, what did you think about being a spectator for all this time?
Well, I think from the jump, I was intrigued by you, honestly, from the jump. From the first minute, I found out about you. Um, I never thought at all, not once, that you was a fraud. I don't know, it was like good vibes. Every time I seen you on the videos, it was just great vibes. So I was, always watching, but I always felt like just confident in you and your story and what you do for us.
Now, when you were a child, what were you doing? Tell us about your childhood.
So I was born in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rican, and I was raised by my grandparents. One side of my family was poor, and the other side was rich. So I feel like growing up I got to live the, best side of both worlds. I did I was closer with the poor side, but I grew up, seeing both sides of, being poor and having money. My dad, he was in the military. He still is. He still works in the military. I was with my mom, single parent. But even though my dad wasn't like in my life, I still was like close to him, over phone and letters. I'm very much like my dad. He's also a teacher in the military, so I'm very much like him. But yeah, I was in like 9 different high schools. I moved around a lot,
Now,
but
did you grow up in Puerto Rico or the United States?
I was in Puerto Rico till I was about 7 years old.
Okay, so you speak Spanish too.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, when you came to the United States, tell us about that?
So when it came to the United States, we was moving around a lot because my stepfather, he was in the military too. So I lived in Panama, I lived in Germany, Florida, Texas. So we traveled a lot.
So you went to a lot of different schools.
hmm
Now, tell us about your high school years.
That's when I was in 9 different high schools. So we jumped a lot. My mom just like jumped from place to place. So I never went to homecoming, or I didn't attend one prom. I didn't wasn't the popular girl. I didn't really have too many friends. Even when I was in high school, my mom ended up getting like an apartment for me when I was 17 years old. So I had my own place when I was 17, my car, and I worked like overnight job. I was a forklift driver, truck driver, a young age. So yeah, I didn't have like the typical childhood, like high school, that people normally have.
Now, when did you get into this beauty?
So I got into the beauty because I was a bartender for about 16 years, And I just got like, I'm just getting older, and I was like, drinking and driving, and I was just like, I need to stop doing this. I'm getting older, running back and forth in the bar. It was just getting old to me, even though I love doing it. It was getting old to me. So I started, thinking of, other things to do. I was going to school to be a nurse too. So I just needed something in the meantime until I finished my nursing program. And it kind of just like jumped in my lap. I just seen like a video of lashing, and I seen how much they were charging for the service. At the time it was like $150, $200, within 2 hours. So I was all like, let me try this. And I took a 2-day training, and that's what pretty much started it.
So after that 2-day training, what did you do?
So after the 2-day training, I just went in it full force. I did like 5 people for free, and then I used them to build my clientele. And then it was a location down the street from where I live at that I was gonna open it and make it into like a corner store. And since I had just took the training, I was like, why don't I just get it and make it into a lash salon? And I had just been lashing for 3 months. So my work was not good at all. But I called the number on the store, and I negotiated the rent, and it was something I can afford, from my bartending job, and I just did it. And I got the location, and that's how that started.
Now tell us about that business. So you negotiated the lease, you got open. Tell us about that.
So I got the location, and at first I wasn't giving it like my 100% because I still was bartending. And mind you, I used to bartend 3 days a week, and I used to make like $1,500 cash. So I used to make good money bartending. So I kept bartending, even though the goal was to, leave bartending. It was hard for me, because I loved doing it and it was good money. So I just had the location there, and little by little I would fix it, do a little this, but it took me a long time, like 6 months later, and I still wasn't open. I still was doing a little here, a little there. But learning about business, how to start a business and get it together. And I kept bartending, kept bartending. I even had people that was asking the owner of the building of my shop, like, can I rent it out? She's never there. No one's ever there. It's always closed. But the owner was like, no, she pays her rent. You can't rent it out. Um, and what happened was, once I started making like a little bit of noise, I started doing like some trainings and starting to get a little bit known. I had like a hater, my first hater, and they had told me, they had like said, hey, you're not even licensed, you're teaching, you're not even licensed. And I did not know in the state of Pennsylvania you had to have a license, because in Maryland, where I originally had came from, you don't have to have a license in Maryland. So I went to school for 2 months and got my license right away once I found that out. And while I was going to school, I would leave school like at 3 o'clock to drive to Maryland to go bartend, and leave like 2, 3 in the morning to get back to Pennsylvania to be at school the next day at 7 in the morning. And I was doing that for like 2 weeks, and I was starting to get sleepy like at night when I was leaving the bar. I was like falling asleep, putting the window down, like hitting myself. And I was just like, I can't do this. I'm gonna either, crash and kill myself. But I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I didn't want to leave the bartending job. And I was in school. And when I was in school, I had a phone call from my friend, and he said, hey, did you see the news? At the time, the job I worked at was called Loafers. And I was like, no, what's going on? And he said, it's on fire. Loafers is on fire. And so he's like, it's stage 3, which means it's about to be done. So I looked at the news, and I seen the helicopters around my job, and my job had burnt down to the ground. Like done for. And I was just like, that's God that was God telling me like, now you can't work. So when that happened, like the job was done, like it was burnt to the ground. So I focused on my business, called Lash Up Beauty Bar. So cause I had no choice. And then when I focused on it, it just grew. Like, it just grew. And I always tell students, if you own at that time, I was only putting 30% into Lash Up. So I was only getting 30% back. But when my job burnt down, I was able to give it 100%. And I seen that in return 100%, and it grew. York is like a little town. At that time, 2016, it was like a little town, really not into the beauty stuff, really not into lashes. I was kind of like the first minority person in York to open a lash salon. And it grew. It just grew, and it's been growing ever since. So that's how that happened.
So you teaching these classes, you got this beauty bar. What did you do after that?
So got the beauty bar in classes. I just kept growing. I started traveling. Like I would find like other people in the beauty industry that are known, I thought they were the best, and I started taking more training. I started taking brow trainings. I took the needleless lip filler training. I took like brow tinting training. And then as I took trainings and got experience, I just started teaching more people. So I did like a teeth whitening training, and I started teaching people, and the students I was teaching started opening up their own businesses like near me, like 5 miles away, 2 miles away, real close to me, opening businesses. And throughout the years, I just started seeing like more people opening up businesses and more beauty bars popping up. And when I went to school, it wasn't, I mean, I had it easy, but other people I seen, they didn't have like a great experience. One day I was leaving school, and my friend, we were talking about the school, how we had a bad day, it was a bad experience, and my friend was like, you should just open up a school. And it was just like, what? Like when she said that, I was like, you know what? You're so right. And I told her, I was like, I am going to open up a school. And that's how it started. That's how it started. So I after I finished school, I went back like 6 months later to get my teacher's license. And it just started from there. Everything developed from there.
So when you start thinking about this school, did you tell people?
I only told like two people. Yeah, I didn't tell nobody. I was real secretive about it. So only the girl that had my friend that had told me, that had said it, I told her and like one other friend.
And so now that you're thinking about that, what did you do? Did you go on Instagram or Facebook? Did you Google? What kind of research did you do? Or tell us about that.
I don't know like how the research happened. I just was like, I'm gonna open a school, and I knew I needed to get my teacher's license. I think I probably looked like Pennsylvania, maybe opening a school, or I had asked like my teacher at the time, at the school I was going to, what do I need to open a school, or to work at a school, like just trying to get information here and there. And I just knew I had to go back to school to get my teacher's license. I knew like that was the start. And I just kind of like, I just really learned, as time progressed, I just learned a little here, a little here, and and with you, of course.
Now, but when did you come across our stuff?
I came across your stuff, I want to say it was like, I don't know if it was like YouTube. It was either YouTube or Instagram, but I do want to say it was like YouTube. I don't know if I was like looking up like something for school or school decor or something, but you just end up popping up, and I just know it like captured my attention right away, and then I started following you.
And how was that journey? Tell us about that.
So started following you, watching your videos. Then I would like get on the Instagram and and see your videos and stuff like that. And I felt like you was like my mentor already before you was my mentor. If that a little crazy, but that's how I felt. And then one day you was on Instagram and you called me on Instagram, and I was so like, my mentor is asking me to get on here. Like I was like shaking. And I got on there, and that was like the first time, we talked face to face. And you were like, I'm gonna send you the business plan over. And I have felt like I was like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Like I felt like I had just won the lotto or something when you told me that. And it kind of put like more fire in me, because like I'm like, he just sent me that cost thousands of dollars, like. And I just got it like that, and it was over after that. Like my confidence like really boosted after that, because um I don't know. It just, you know what that did. But yeah, that definitely, I just made me more confident in the process, because this whole time, I'm doing everything myself. I don't have friends or family in the business, so I'm doing everything myself. So you offering that, I just had so much confidence, like, okay, I got this.
Now, did you start looking for buildings at that time, or tell us what did you do then? You got the business plan. Did you open it, look at it, or tell us?
So I got the business plan. Honestly, it was so much paperwork. I did not look at it. I did not read it. I just know I had it, and I know I had to like edit it, but it's just like it wasn't the time for that. So I was like, I knew I had it, and when it was time for me to use it, I was gonna sit down, read over it, and do what I had to do. So I did put it to the side, but I knew I had it. And I didn't look for a building yet. I finished school. It was like, I guess during school I did start looking. So yes, the I started looking. It did take me almost like, I want to say, a whole year to find a building, because I would look, and what was happening is a lot of people didn't want me to be there or in that location. Out here in Pennsylvania, the way it works is, once you find a building or a space, if there's another hair space next to you or barber space next to you, they ask them, hey, is it okay for her to open this business? And I was getting no's. Like, even the last time I thought I found a space, the lady in the shopping center, she had a hair shop, and she was like, no, we don't want her here. It's gonna be competition. Even though I'm like have students. So I was getting a lot of no's. So then I came across this location. And when I came across this location, there was a hair spot here. Um, but this location had been vacant for a long time. Like a long time. I don't know how long, but I just remember when I took a tour of this location, there was still like the TV with the VCR player that you put the VCR in. So I knew, I was like, okay, that's still in here. Yeah, this place has been vacant for a long time. And there was wires hanging everywhere. It used to be a Chinese restaurant, so there was still like big freezers like in the concrete, but everything was messed up. Everything was messed up, and I knew it was vacant for a long time. So I was like, maybe I can negotiate, because obviously the owner is not making no money with a vacant space. Um, so it was this building, and then I seen another one downtown, good location, but there was no parking. So it was between the two locations. And the realtor for this location one day, she said, just stick with me. She was like, just stick with me. And when she said that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna stick with you and I'm gonna go with this location because I wanted this location because there was a lot of parking here and it's a good area. It's not in the city, but it's close to the city. So we got into negotiating. Yeah, and it ended up being this place for me.
So you negotiated and then you signed your lease.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do after that? Were you scared to sign the lease, or tell us about that?
No, I wasn't scared. Throughout the whole process, I guess what I was scared about was like the money, like, coming in. But I knew a year ago that I wanted to do a school. So I started saving money. Like I started putting money aside. So that was the only thing I was really scared about. Um, but like I said, I started putting money aside. So the day that we signed the lease, um, I had to pay like $9,000, but I had it. And it was just exciting. Like I wasn't nervous at all. It was just like, okay, I'm signing the lease, I'm getting it. And I got it. It was a little process though because of zoning. This building was not zoned for a school, so the township gave me a little hard time. Kind of like they was dragging their feet a little bit, but we made it happen. We got it zoned to be a school, and then it wasn't until a year later that I got to open because it was a long process. The township gave me a hard time. Like I said, we had to fix this location because it was really, really in bad condition. So yeah, it took a whole year before we got to open.
Now, okay, we got a lot of people on here that have not opened a school. Some of them are working in the shop. Some of them have been looking for buildings. So can you take them through the process? You signed the lease. What did you do next? Did you do the plumbing, the electrical, to build the walls, find a framer, a contractor? Can you take them through that process?
Yes. So once I signed the lease, I had to negotiate because, like I said, I don't have money to fix the electric, fix the plumbing, fix everything that how this location was really bad. So what we negotiated is, and they put over $100,000 into this building. So we ended up negotiating. I wanted to do 5 years here, and was going back and forth the realtor with the owner. And then the owner was all like, 7 years. Have her do 7 years, and she pays, for the plumbing. She does the floor and the paint. So that's what we end up negotiating. I never, settle for the first thing. I'm always trying to negotiate. So I did the 7 years because he was putting so much money, to fix this to building or to get it ready for me. So I had to do the flooring, I had to pay for the plumbing, but we used their contractors. So because this township where I'm at is real strict and a pain in the butt, the realtor had already gave me like the heads up, like, let's use our contractors, but you just pay for the plumbing and like the electricity. It was like $17,000 that I had to pay. And I was like, well, I can't pay that, all at once. So because it was gonna take time to get the building prepared, she's like, well, what can you pay? And I was like, maybe I was just throwing like maybe 1,000, every 2 weeks. And she was fine with that as long as I paid it before the school started. So I started making those payments like that while they were, fixing the school. And even while they were putting the school together, we came across so many obstacles. Like, I had to build a ramp because my building is in a slant. And then the township was giving us a hard time about that. The township didn't want me. I have 3 suites. So I made 3 suites into one. And because it's in a ramp, the township wanted my students to have to go outside of each each area outside to get into the another area, like kind of like a college. Like you have to go outside to go to a different classroom. And I didn't want that. Like I want them to be able to walk from here to point C without going outside. So that was another obstacle, but made it happen. So it was a lot of like disappointing things, but I just kept fighting for it. Like, no, it can't be like that way. It has to be this way. And it, God just kept making it happen, kept making it happen. And so that's why I knew, I was like, I know this is what's meant for me, because every time I hit, a dead end, it ends up, following through. Like I keep pushing. So yeah, we got the ramp build, got my wall made.
Now these disappointments, can you share a lot of these disappointments? Because a lot of times people quit and they give up.
Yeah. See, if you're gonna go into doing a school, you can't quit. You just can't quit. If you have that mentality, then it's just not going to work for you. You can't have that mentality, because believe me, it's a couple times I was in my car crying and upset because I hit a dead end. Even with the ramp, they're like, "Oh, this ramp's going to be $13,000 to build." And you're going to have to pay for it. And like I said, it was a lot of negotiating and a lot of don't settle for the first thing they tell you. Cause it's all like, a lot of people think, okay, I'm a female, I'm young. Well, I don't think I'm that young, but they think I'm young, inexperienced. So they tell you something, you think, okay, that's what it is. No, that's not what it is. You have to, listen, okay, like, can we do it this way? You have to start thinking, or, can we do it that way? Or is there another way we can do it? But yeah, a lot of times I was in my car crying, stressed out about it. But the next day you get up and you keep it moving. But like I said, even towards the end, once we finally got approved for zoning, even then, towards the end, I remember one time I had to call the zoning officer, and he had told me, "Oh no, it's not zoned. It's not zoned for a school." And I said, "What do you mean it's not zoned for a school? I'm about to run my car into a wall, brick wall. Like, what do you mean? It is zoned," because the realtor had told me it was zoned. So I'm telling him, like, what? My school has to open in 6 months. What are you talking about? Like, and he didn't know what he was talking about. And even like at the end again too, I needed paperwork for the zoning, and he didn't want to give it to me. I'm calling Tom 6 months after that conversation, like, hey, I need, the proof, the paperwork that it got zoned, to give it to state board. And okay, I'm gonna give it to you in 2 days. 2 days pass, I still ain't get it. Okay, 2 more days pass, he still ain't send it. Calling Tom again. Tom, what's up? I need that paperwork. Oh, I'm busy. So I'm like, oh, Tom playing with me, and then again, found a way around it. I just looked up, zoning, PA, whatever my thing was zoned for. And I printed out the code and what it meant. And it said zone for a school. And I submitted that to state board, and they took that, but no help. Like, I really had a hard time with this township, and I've opened businesses other places that was so easy. Like, if I would have stick with the city, I would have been open almost 8 months earlier than where I'm at now.
What do you think were some of the things that you would tell some of these future school owners on here, as far as if they find this building and they got to do a build out or do work to it? What are some of the things that you would tell them to do, and some things you would tell them not to do?
What I would tell them to do is, first of all, if you can visually tell that, it needs work done, and, it needs work done, I would use like I did their contractor, the realtor or the owner's contractors. They already have worked with people that, you know, are experienced, you know, and that know how to take care of things. So, you know, normally I'll try to get like my people, my friend's cousin to do something for me, um, you know, to save money. But when it comes to like a school and something that could cost you a lot of money, if something happens, um, working with the contractors, with their contractors, was beneficial for me, because we just opened August 1st and already my school has been flooded 3 times. And mind you, everything's supposed to be brand new. My plumbing is supposed to be brand new. Everything. They put over $100,000 in here. And we were already flooded 3 times because this used to be an Asian restaurant. I guess the old tubing from underneath the building was full of grease that has been there for years. So it kind of got like concrete hard, which today was their fourth time coming here and they finally fixed it. But if I would have used my guys in the beginning, like the plumbing that I wanted to do, because I was trying to save some money, oh Lord, they wouldn't have fixed it. I would have ended up spending even more money trying to get that fixed, because they literally have been here over 12 hours trying to fix that. And also, like, don't settle. Like, you know, if especially like if you're new or young or this is your first time getting into a business, you can negotiate. And I didn't really learn this until, you know, I guess I let my last business. You know, you can negotiate. Don't stick just because they say, oh, the square footage is $12 per square feet. Like, no, negotiate that. You know, especially now, like after COVID and all that, people don't have it like that. So you can negotiate. So don't settle for the first thing you get. And like I said, if it's an old building, you have to tell yourself, like, it's probably some things that, you know, that's wrong with this building. So yeah, just negotiating, reading over the paperwork, like definitely hire like a lawyer to read over the paperwork, especially for something this big. Like, I'm here for 7 years. So yeah, for the paperwork, having a lawyer read over it, because even when my lawyer read over it, he told me, you know, this is what this means, this is what that means. Because a lot of the terminology, I didn't know what it meant. You know, I didn't know what it meant. So he kind of broke it down, you know, where I can understand it. And he, you know, would tell me, this is good. This is a red flag. Question them about this, or add this to the clause, or, you know, so definitely getting a lawyer to read over the contract. Um, yeah.
Now, as far as submitting all of your paperwork to the board, pals, can you tell us about all the paperwork and stuff and how that went?
That was super easy because you did it. You did all my paperwork for pals. And I was on the phone with you, and you know, because I wanted to see you do it so I can you know, so I can learn. So you pretty much, you did everything. I had to pretty much, the things you needed as far as like the floor plan, I had to, you know, upload it or send it to you on Gmail. But other than that, it was easy.
Now, tell us that night before you opened. You were open the next day. Tell us how that night before was.
That night was fine. It was, you know what day it was? It was because that day was fine. This whole process, everybody's like, girl, you got to school. Girl, you doing things. Like, girl, you got to school. And I'm over here like, this is nothing. Like, I got, like, this is nothing. Thinking like, this is nothing. Like, and it wasn't until like I got in here, like after the contractors did their thing, and it was like, okay, I got to school, you know? And it was really my grand opening day. So my grand opening was like a week before. We opened August 1st. So my grand opening was a week before. So it was that day I had got real cute, and I had some people from the city here, and my friends and my close family. And when I pulled up in my car, I just seen so many people out there. I don't even know who it was because I didn't even look. I just seen like a gang of people in front of the school. And as soon as I got out the car, I just started crying and bawling my eyes out. And the only time I cry is like if I'm watching like a Lifetime movie and someone getting killed or something like that. So I was like, I'm a G, I'm not gonna cry. But just seeing all those people in front of the school, I just started crying and I couldn't even look at nobody. Like I had to walk right in the school and go in the bathroom, and all these people are following behind me to the bathroom, and I'm just like, God, I can't even cry in peace. And everybody was just like waiting. Everybody was just like waiting for me. Like, come on, we gotta do the ribbon cutting, and this person's here and this person's here. So it was that moment where I was all like, wow, like I just did this.
Now, do you want to tell them your Instagram so they can see the ribbon cutting?
Sure. The Instagram is it's the school name. It's Level Up Beauty Academy.
And I want you to kind of take them, I'm going to share the screen, and I want you to kind of take them through some of the things that you just told them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share this screen. Can y'all see the screen? All right, so here we go.
All right, so right there, that's Sully. She's from the township. That's somebody from the bank, and next to Sully, you couldn't see her, but at the time, I didn't know who she was, but she was like she's the governor. She's the governor. So I'm just, like I said, I was connected with them through my previous business, through Lash Up, and I'm trying to work with them now. I still am not deciding for like a loan. So Sully was all like, hey, we can do your grand opening for the school. So I was like, sure, why not? Because she was like, important people will come out right there. I'm just talking my stuff. Like, I don't know how I did it, but I did it. TikTok. I don't know how I made it happen, but I made it happen. Yeah, that's when that was getting done. I have so many videos I need to upload because I really want to show how this location looked before I got it. That was my family, my nieces in the front, my son standing up with the phone, my cousin, and all the girls in the middle. That's my crew, my team. So that was my family there. And that's us now. That was this week, or that was last week. That's my teacher. She came from the school I was going to school. She came from there, and those are my students. We started with 9 students in a esthetician class.
Okay, now how did you get them 9 students? Because some people start with 0. I started with 0 for a while. So how did you get these 9 students?
So from my previous business, or my business at Lashes, once I knew I was going to open the school, like once I knew like it was official, I created like a flyer, like a Level Up Beauty Academy coming 2022. Even though we didn't come 2022, I thought we were. I did a flyer, I have posted it, like I already know it's official. I have the school. So I don't know if like they started, people started sharing my posts. I really didn't pay for like marketing or nothing like that. I just posted that and people shared it. It was like 58 shares. So I think it got some recognition like that. But in the beginning, I just posted that flyer only, and then when the contractors got done and state board came, it was when state board came and they were like, you're approved. Within like, I think that same day or the next day, I said, oh, we're open. We're gonna enroll. we're gonna enroll, and then I came up with August the 1st, and I only had like a month. By the time state board came, I only had a month before I was opening. So I posted it on my Facebook. We're enrolling now. We start classes August the 1st, and people shared that too. And I didn't want to start like marketing right away. Like, we weren't on Google yet. I just wanted it to see, like, pretty much see what God was gonna bring me. Like, I'm just gonna see what He's gonna bring me. I didn't care if I had one student. I was gonna start. So I was like, I'm just gonna see, what happens. And then I just started. The school wasn't even like done being decked, like fully having its decor. So I just had my office, and stuff was everywhere, still in boxes. But I started Calendly. It's like a little free app to, people can make appointments. So I put that on my Facebook on the top of my page, and I just had it pinned there. Like, if you want to come to the school or take a tour, make an appointment. And people started making appointments, and they would come to the school, and I would do a tour, and like try to get them to visualize what was gonna be here and be there, because I still wasn't fully, done. And people started enrolling. And that's why I was like, hold on, I don't want to be taking people's money if I can't take people's money. And you told me you have to wait until you get state board approved, and I did. I waited until a month before we opened to take anybody's money. But once we got approved, I started, hey, $225 to enroll, and you know what I mean, and they were paying it, and I was just like, this is this is that. So yeah, I just was like, but even now I'm still not like really marketing like I can. Like, our next class already starts October the 16th, and I already have 4 students that have paid their money. And even like today I just posted one picture, now accepting nail students, and my phone was going crazy. Like, my phone was going, just off of Facebook, my phone was going crazy. I at least had 8 people that was messaging me, asking questions for the school. Book an appointment, come in. I'm not, I don't do that back and forth on Facebook, because it's 8 different people asking me 8 different questions, times, how many times they have to ask. So sending them a link, and they was booking. So I plan on I want to get more college students. So I plan, like, I keep saying, like, I'm gonna market, but I probably like a week or 2 more, I'm gonna do some serious marketing.
So what did all your family and friends say after you got the school open?
I don't really have like a lot of family. My family's all military, so they're like all over the place. So it's really just me, my mom, my sister, and that's it. And my
What did
kids,
they say?
and my husband. So my family didn't say nothing. Like, my mom was proud of me, my dad was proud of me. My kids, they say they think I'm a principal. They're like, Mom, you're a principal, and I'm like, I'm not a principal, but they're like, you're a principal. So my kids were proud of me. My 12-year-old was like, Mom, I'm proud of you. My friends, like my 2 friends, they always hype me up, like, girl, you own a school. Like, they be more hype, about it than me sometimes. They're like, you own a school, like, that's big things. Um, but yeah, that's it. Like, I don't have a big family. I mean, I do, but like, we're not close because they're
Yeah.
mostly military.
How does it feel like, I guess, being a school owner versus a salon or shop owner? Because you've done both. So can you tell them about that?
It's a big difference. Even with the salon, it was like, I'm the boss, I have a salon, I teach so many people, and they open their own business. But having the school, and like even like the first, when my grand opening and the governor being here, I didn't know who she was, but she pulled me to the side and was like, hey, I'm the governor, and if state board gives you any problems, like I'm the woman to call. I make things happen. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you, because you're my type of girl. Like, I'm like, you're my type of girl. And I felt proud about that. Like, she don't even know me, and she's got my back. And even now, people that don't even know me, sharing the school page, tagging me, someone, asking like, where's your school, where's there a school, a lot of people tagging me. um it feels different. It feels real good. Like, you know like, I don't know, it just feels, it feels definitely some boss stuff. Like, I definitely feel like some boss stuff, but it's like a better confidence as far as like business. Yeah, just feels a lot better.
So what advice would you give these beauty professionals, barbers, stylists, nail techs, estheticians, whoever, lash people that are working in a shop or have a shop and they're thinking about or wanting to open a school? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that, you can do it. It's really possible to do it, but I would just say, like, for me, honestly, like, you got to just keep stuff to yourself until everything is ready, because now it's like I'm hearing everybody and their mom want to open a school now, like near me. It's like this person that was doing hair for so many years from this area, now she want to open a school. This guy over here down the street from my shop, supposedly now he's opening school. So it's like now I'm hearing like, y'all been in York for so many years and now everybody wants to open a school. So keep it to yourself, because the first person you tell is like, oh, I want to open a school now. That's what I've encountered, my experience. So keep it to yourself. You have to save money. You have to have a little, couple dollars put aside. You have to start like working on your credit. You have to take it serious. What else would I say? Oh, and you, like, for me, a lot of my success is from my team. Like my lash up team, they're heavy. Them girls, I got them at a young age, trained them. They stick beside me for 2 years. And because I had a good, strong team in my salon, I was able to stop doing services to focus on building the school. If I didn't have a strong team, I feel like it would have took me a lot longer to get where I'm at. So having that strong team, I had like, 4 girls working at the salon, allowed me to leave the salon, to not leave it, but focus, spend my time here, getting the school together, learning what I needed to learn, even being able to go back to school to get my teacher's license. So you need to have a strong team. And they were the only ones really that knew I was going to open a school. And I even told them, y'all keep it, on the wraps. And one of my employees ended up telling one of her friends, and because she ended up slipping it out one time when we was working out. She was like, yeah, my friend said she was going to open a school. And I'm like, hold up. Your friend is a drug dealer. What she know about opening a school? Like, you've been talking to her about my business. So it's like, you really got to be careful. Of course, she didn't open a school, but it was just the fact that, like, but yeah, having a strong team helped me a lot. Like, help me, leave my baby to start my new baby.
Now, when you joined the program, what were you expecting from us or from me when you joined?
I expected you to walk that walk. What you talk, I expected you to back it up.
Okay. So how was it, I guess, since we've been working together, or how has that been? And you can be
It's
honest, I don't care however you feel.
it's
'Cause
been it okay, I'll be honest.
yeah,
It's been good. Like, I don't feel like I don't feel like I bug you at all. Like, I don't need much from you, because like when I do need something, you make it happen. You tell me either email this or, email me this most of the time. And then you just make it happen. So it's been extremely, extremely like easy. Like it's been extremely easy, honestly. I feel like just knowing that, I have a mentor, like my mentor. I'm always like my mentor, you know, um, like I just feel like you had my back or you was there. Like if I didn't know something, I'm gonna call my mentor. Like, I'm gonna find out about it. So it's been easy. Like it's been easy. The only thing that I was upset was about when you was on a Zoom one time, when you was on a live one time, and I seen somebody else from York on your Zoom, and I was like, "What's this person doing on my mentor's Zoom? Like, how he know about him?" And I was just like, damn, if my mentor teaches him, well, then he gonna be my competition and I'm paying for my mentor. So that was the only time I was like, well, how's this gonna work? That was the only time. And other than that, like I said, people just they're gonna start following you. They're gonna start, seeing your friends, your followers. So he must have been doing his snooping, around.
And competition is great because God gives the increase. He's in control of all of us. So it doesn't matter if 100 people open up. Whatever God says it's going to be, it's going to be. And even if there's other competition, it won't be any competition because you fix their problems. If another school opened up, they're not going to do it like Jaxi. And if you all give you all's best and treat people with royalty and do your best, those other school owners are not going to do what you do. They're not going to treat them like you. They're not going to teach them like you. And all of us need to have that in our mind. We're going to teach them about business, personal development. We're going to go above and beyond. And when you all put out good students, do great work and transform them, they're going to tell other people. So y'all don't have no competition. And most of them schools, they're probably not going to be as good as you. So when they close down, guess what? Those students are going to come to you. So y'all don't have to worry about competition. You just do your best and he's going to do the rest. I'm a strong believer in that. And for you all that are believers, feed your spirit every day. So tell us, how do you prepare yourself for your students?
Like as far as like their kids and stuff like that?
As far as just daily, what do you do? When you come in, how do you dress? How do you talk? Or what do you not do? Or whatever. I mean, because I was a former cocaine dealer or whatever, but when I got to school, I wore a suit and tie and talked different, act different, didn't listen to rap, cussing music. So can you kind of tell us, because I know you worked at a bar and all of us have not been saints or whatever. So kind of tell us some of that.
All right. Yep. So real quick, at our last conversation, you had told me, you had said, what's for you will be for you. So when you had told me that, I kept that with me. Like, okay, he said, what's for me is meant for me. So I try to stay positive on that note. But so me, I normally wear like workout clothes. Even though I'm not working out, I'm wearing workout clothes. So I'm always wearing like workout shorts, a Nike shirt, Nike shoes. That's really how I normally dress. So just even like taking your course, I know you have mentioned before, like you do have to dress the part. So I did buy, professional clothes. And at first I thought I was going to feel like a little uncomfortable because I'm so used to having my workout clothes and being on the move. But the workout clothes the dress clothes is working out really good. I feel like, professional. I feel like professional, and even like one of my employees that she's a student here. So like, Okay, Jaxi, I see you're not wearing the Nike shorts and the Nike shirt, and like you wearing that, like, you know, giving me confident and letting me know like I look cute. So I make my teachers dress professional. At first I was gonna have like a dress code, like us wear scrubs. But then after like interviewing my teachers and talking to them, I was like, I'm gonna just try, you know, the professional look. So my teachers dress professional, cute. And I like it. I'm starting to like it because like one, she's real colorful, like blues and you know, orange. And I'm real like black, white, tan, but it just like, you know, kind of like show our personality a little bit. So we do dress professional. You'll catch me like I ain't gonna wear no heels, but I'm gonna put some cute tennis shoes and match it up, you know, with some pants. Like I got like some little black and white pants, you know, my little shirt, you know, try to keep it cute and comfortable. You know, got our school jacket on, the logo. So pretty much like that's the attire. I have my students, they wear all black. I try to tell them to wear scrubs if they can afford scrubs. If they have money to get scrubs, all black scrubs. Because even them wearing scrubs make them feel like kind of like nurse or like more professional. If not, they can wear all black. They have a jacket to a smock with the logo on it. And pretty much I start my day, I come in like 30 minutes earlier. So do my teachers. And we just go over, you know, like what we're gonna do for the day. And in the morning, the students come in, we have a clocking system. They come in and they go straight to the classroom. And I start the day with like 2 questions on the board about law or, you know, like most of the time it's law, like we start off with 2 questions. So if it's like they just coming back from the weekend, we might like ask them like, you know, how was y'all week? Try to get them up a little bit. We'll talk a little bit, like, you know, 5 minutes, and then we'll get into the questions. And I always try to have like that energy in the morning, like, you know, all right, let's get it. Like, you know, like try to give them a little bit of energy because I could tell they're like sleepy or try to get them, you know, up a little bit. So we'll start with the 2 questions and then we'll split. Cause will go, you know, cause classroom, and then the estheticians will go to the esthetician classroom. And we'll either do like some book work, you know, most of the time it's book work in the daytime. Then we'll go to lunch, and then we're like hands-on at the end of the day, you know, practicing what we went over in the book. Like it's like today was waxing, so they was waxing on each other, arm waxing, facial waxing, things like that. So and then 2 days out the week, we do virtual. So Mondays and Tuesdays we're virtual, and then Wednesdays and Thursdays they're here from 9 in the morning till 4:30, and it's been working out.
What do people say to you out in the field in society? Like when you go out to the grocery stores, anywhere, do anybody say anything to you?
No, I'm real. Like I said, I'm really like an introvert person. I don't like attention. But like my Facebook and my Instagram, people were like congratulating me, you know, like just, you know, thank me, like really like congratulate people I don't even know, congratulating me. Even when I like prior to opening the school, and I just like, you know, donations, you know, I was having complete stranger donating, you know, expensive things. I just had one like last week, she donated a whole makeup thing that retails for like $170, and it was brand new with a tag on it. And I didn't even know this lady. She was just all like, you know, I have this, come get it. It's brand new. And I went and got it. So it's like a lot of strangers that I don't know congratulating me. Just saying like I'm a boss. Some girl today posted something like with influencers, like who are the influencers in 717. I had a couple people tag me. So yeah.
How important do you feel social media is for your business or school owners? Because we have some school owners or potential school owners, and some of them are kind of seasoned, a little older, or whatever, and they're kind of hesitant or skeptical on social media. So what would you tell them?
Social media is a must. It is a must. And if you're like seasoned, you just gotta learn it. You have to learn it. Just like, with trying to do Facebook ads, you have to learn it. You have to sit down and put the time and learn it. And if you can't learn it, then hire somebody. Hire somebody. But social media is a must because, like, I'm not from York. When I first moved here, I did not know one person. So for me to be where I'm at, everybody that supported me were complete strangers. And the only reason they knew about me was because of social media, Instagram, Facebook. Anybody that knows me, I have like 3 Facebook pages. I have like 3, 4 Instagram pages. I want to keep I try to keep my personal life separate. So create another Facebook page. I want to keep my Instagram separate. My businesses all have their own Instagram pages. My businesses all have their own Facebook pages. So social media is a must. Like, it is a lot. Like, there's TikTok, it's too much. I know it can be too much, and there's Snapchat. So, but you need to have at least 2 to 3. And I just go with the ones I feel like is most popular, which is Facebook and Instagram. I do have a TikTok. I did create a TikTok. I did create a Snapchat, even though I don't use it. But Facebook and Instagram, definitely, you need to have a social media presence, especially you want to get all that money. You want to get the young heads, the mature people. So if you don't, like, even one of my teachers today, I was like, do you have an Instagram for your business? And she was like, no. And I'm like, and she's young. And I'm like, girl, why not? That's possible. That's future, clients. So very heavy on social. I'm very heavy on social media. Like, that's where I get, my students. That's where I get my clients that go to Lash Up. Because, like I said, I didn't have no friends or family here when I first moved here. None, not one. I had no friends, no family when I came to York. I hated this place when I got here. It was like, I miss Maryland. But that's who supported me, complete strangers. So you definitely have to get on Facebook. You definitely have to post a lot. And the same thing for Instagram. And like I said, if you don't want to do it, there's companies out there, they'll do it for you. But you definitely need to have a social media presence.
Is there anything else that you want to share with them?
Pretty much like I was saying earlier, what worked for me is just keeping it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Like I said, start taking courses to, like, get your credit score up. I started really getting into that when, I was like, okay, FAFSA's going to check my background and check my credit score and make sure I can, do all this stuff. And then even too, like, I was on food stamps not that long ago, maybe 3 years ago. I had to let that go because I'm like, I can't be a big dog, and try to get big dog loans and do all this if I'm still getting food stamps. And so I had to let that go. So making those sacrifices, saving your money. You have to save your money. Like, if you're on there and you're on Amazon buying this, buying that, or you're out eating every day, like, no, you have to save your money. So I saved my money, saving your money. And just staying focused. Like, it's a lot of times, like, my friends would go out, my friends here, and I didn't go out. I didn't go out. Even now, the summertime, we all have plans to take a vacation. Like, we're gonna take a vacation. I could not take a vacation because of the school. So you are gonna have to sacrifice, and just stay focused. Like, stay focused, know what your goal is, and just do it. Just do it.
Now, when you talked about saving and sacrificing, what can you tell the women what they should do, and the men both? Like, I know you hit a couple of things about eating out or whatever. So just tell us straight, how can we save?
So what I did is what ended up happening with me is the bank that I was with, I tried to like go and get a loan with them. And I have been banking with this bank for years. Like every time I come in, they're like, "Hey, Jaxi," everybody knew me. And when I went to try to get a loan for, my school, my new business that I'm trying to do, they sat me in an office with a lady I had never seen before, and she did not know nothing about me. And she just looked at me like I had 5 heads, didn't know nothing about my lash business, didn't even know my name. And I just felt like, damn, like, I've been coming to this bank for so many years. You guys see that my business does good. It's been growing. Like my business grew from 100, to 200 to 300. My lash business, they see it. So it was just like, it was like a no. They did not want to give me a loan. So I went with like a credit union. I had never known about a credit union. And now I even tell my students, like, y'all need a credit union. And as soon as I went to the credit union, they were like, "Oh, we could give you this business card for like $2,000. And I was like, "Y'all just gonna give me a credit card for $2,000? And I was like, negotiating. I was like, "What if I want 10?" And they're like, "Oh, we can try for 10." And they tried for 10, and 10 was like, for me to have $10,000 at one time was like, oh, I can do big things with this. Made for big dogs, that's like a little bit of a little bit of change. But for me, having that all at once was like, I can do a lot with this. And that's what I did. They gave me the 10,000. And then Square, I use Square for my lash up. Square at the same time, like, "Oh, do you want this loan for $10,000? We'll take it out your payments." Yes, I want that. That's 20, and I just saved that. I just put it in a savings account, acting like I didn't have it, didn't see it, didn't know about it, because I knew I was gonna have to go back and fall to that money. Fall back to that, and like I said, so that's how it came about for me. And like I said, like not going out, like sometimes I used to be like, okay, I want these shoes, and them shoes were like $170, and I was like, why am I getting these shoes? Like, damn well it's materialistic things, like, this is not, like, I don't care about this, like I like how it looks, but so, and I wouldn't get it. Clothes, like buying clothes, like for what? For what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for what? And you, like, even with the vacation, like I wanted to go on a vacation so bad. Like, I'm like, I need it. I've been working so much. I need a stress reliever. Didn't go on vacation, So you really have to be focused and really like prioritize and remain humble, because our society is like shows us like we should be out shopping every day, we should be out eating every day, we should be living that good life every day. But if you want to reach your goals, like you have to put that to the side, like you don't have to put that to the side. And that's what I did. I put all that to the side.
Okay. You shared a lot of good stuff. Do you have a couple of minutes for some Q&A? Because some people asked a few questions.
Yep. Mm-hmm.